I would ask my colleague, one of the greatest blows to democracy when we don't have a fully free press, and has it been a hallmark of so many of the countries that he has mentioned that are autocracies or absolute dictatorships, to have no free press, so no information can come out? And doesn't that dramatically hurt the American people when government is shielded and can do whatever it wants and hurt as many people as it wants because you don't have a free press? Doesn't it really shouldn't it really frighten every American that this is a large step on the road away from democracy, towards tyranny, and towards authoritarian government?
There it is. They hate you. How else can you explain this blatant gaslighting? For the last 20 years, I've been obsessively focused on exposing everything that he just said there. I mean, come on, the free press was literally caught red-handed lying to the country to protect Democrat Party power. But even so, let me quickly lay out the case for why the media is anything but a safe haven for Trump or Republicans. And if you'd like to support this channel, the best way you can do it right now is to head on over to preparewithdronetek.com and check out the amazing deals that we have on emergency food. I don't know if you've noticed, but the world is kind of insane right now. So if you have no emergency food storage at all, that means you're not prepared. If you want to have any chance of surviving any kind of major shutdown nationwide, then you need an emergency food storage. Head on over to preparewithdronetek.com right now and check it out. You can find the link for that in the description and pinned comment.
I would ask my colleague, one of the greatest blows to democracy when we don't have a fully free press, and has it been a hallmark of so many of the countries that he has mentioned that are autocracies or absolute dictatorships, to have no free press, so no information can come out? And doesn't that dramatically hurt the American people when government is shielded and can do whatever it wants and hurt as many people as it wants? Yeah. Because you don't have a free press, doesn't it really shouldn't it really frighten every American that this is a large step on the road away from democracy, towards tyranny, and towards authoritarian government?
Another rule for us.
Besides the obvious, like the media just incited multiple people to try and assassinate Donald Trump before an election, mainstream media bias here in America used to be a widely debated topic, but not anymore. Why? Because there are various studies, polls, and analysis pointing to a measurable favoritism of the Democrat Party.
Well, we're waiting.
So first of all, we have so-called journalists' self-identification and affiliation. Surveys consistently show that U.S. journalists overwhelmingly identify as Democrats or liberals.
Wow, look at you, you cracked the case.
For instance, a 2022 survey of American journalists found that only 3.4% identify as Republicans, compared to 36% as Democrats, and 52% as so-called independents. Another separate analysis by The Economist in 2023 examined language patterns in journalism and concluded that American journalism, quote, sounds much more Democratic than Republican, with reporters preferring phrasing aligned with Democratic lawmakers. Back in 2004, I used to always talk about this Harvard study, where researchers analyzed media outlets and found a clear liberal bias, noting that reporters tend to vote more Democratic than Republican, leading to a left-leaning tilt in coverage.
No shit.
This was echoed in a UCLA study from the same era, which confirmed that many outlets lean left due to journalists' preferred politics. All things that have been plainly obvious to me for at least the last 20 years.
Gotta go check it out.
Scary skeletons and shivers down your spine.
Man, I was just thinking that might not have been a great idea, considering the demographic of people that typically watch my channel. Sorry about that. I totally won't do that again between now and Halloween. All right, stick with me. I have a few more studies to talk about here. A 2023 study in the European Journal of Political Economy analyzed U.S. newscasts from 2001 to 2012 and found that ABC, CBS, and NBC tended to report more critically of Republicans than Democrats, indicating a partisan slant.
Surprise, surprise.
In 2025, the network coverage of Donald Trump was 92% negative, compared to 41% negative for Joe Biden in his first 100 days. Examples include minimal coverage of Democrat Party scandals. A great example of that would be the recent Jay Jones scandal, versus extensive reporting on similar Republican issues, like the Young Republican scandal. The Hunter Biden laptop story was largely suppressed by outlets like AP, the New York Times, and NPR, citing potential damage to Democrats.
I would ask my colleague, one of the greatest blows to democracy when we don't have a fully free press, and has it been a hallmark of so many of the countries that he has mentioned that are autocracies or absolute dictatorships, to have no free press, so no information can come out?
It's different.
While they amplified debunked claims of Russian propaganda, All Sides, an independent media watchdog, rated many outlets, the AP, Bloomberg, USA Today, The Atlantic, Axios, NPR, CNN, Politico, ProPublica, CNBC, as shifting further and further to the left in recent years.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
There was a New Yorker article in 2024 that noted mainstream coverage inevitably towards favoring mainstream Democrat candidates like Kamala Harris. Polarization is exacerbated by the mainstream media, with traditional media spreading misinformation that aligns with Democratic narratives. Which is something I've been saying on this channel from the beginning. I do think that at least part of this has something to do with what Leslie Stahl talked about when she says that Democrats expect the media to be on their side, and when they're not, they feel betrayed.
Democrats think that reporters are on their side. They expect reporters to be kind to them and gentle. They expect it because they assume we're liberals and we're going to be on their side. And when we're not, and when we're tough, they feel betrayed. They feel that there's been a family break of some kind. The Republicans expect us to be tough, and they just accept that we're tough, and we're all treated the same. It's very professional.
If the media isn't 100% behind the Democrat Party narrative and helping them to defeat Republicans, then they must be protecting Republicans and Donald Trump, which they now suddenly see as authoritarianism. It must just be completely different when they do it.
Every single time.
All right, that's all I have to say about that. Let me know what you all think in the comments, and if you're still here, might as well hit that like button and subscribe. I do post on a regular basis, so make sure to keep checking back for more.